Misfortune Games.
Alright, so since Genesis 9 came out, there's been some assets that I've been wanting to use, but I'm not fully ready to dive into Genesis 9 yet, so I've been looking for a way to convert them, or so to speak, convert them to 8.1, since they pretty much don't work on 8.1 out of the box. Now, whether that was intended by Daz or not is a different argument that I'm not really going to get into. But either way, someone by the name of Petunia Petals posted a tutorial on Renderosity on how to use the auto fit for Genesis 9 close on 8.1. And it's a pretty long PDF, about 30 pages for from 8 to 8.1. I'm not sure if 3 is in there. I doubt it. But anyway, I know some people learn better through visual as in video rather than image and text, so I thought I'd kind of clarify it a little bit through video so you can kind of see the step-by-step process live. Otherwise, yeah, go read that PDF because it goes into a bit more detail than I will. Again, all credit goes to the Petunia Petals for the tutorial itself. I'm basically following that to the T. Just going a little extra step here and there, but yeah, if you prefer that, go read that or watch this either way. So for this, we're gonna start with the dev versions of 8.1 and 9. Excuse me. So to start, we're gonna select 9. We're gonna find our subdivision levels and turn them both down to 0, and then your resolution level, you're gonna want to turn that to base. Repeat that for whatever your intended model is. So in my case, it's 8.1 female. You might be doing 8.1 male or 8 male or female. So whichever works for you. Both down to 0 and then base. Alright, so we're gonna select Genesis 9, the figure, and then we're gonna hit this hamburger menu type thing. I'm not sure what you would call it. Go to preferences, show hidden properties, and you want to make sure you have Genesis 9 selected still. You're gonna go to hidden clones, and then you're gonna find your gender here. So in this case, it's going to be Genesis 8 male or Genesis 8 female. So in this case, we're going to do Genesis 8 female. So from there, we're going to hit this little check mark on the mouse. And you're going to hit that and it's going to turn into an X. And that makes your Genesis 9 model unselectable. So you're just going to hit that. And now we're going to select your Genesis 8.1 figure, or 8, whichever one you're using. You don't have to select it because we're just going to be hitting a body part, but it works the same way. So in this case, I'm going to start with the right thigh. That's going to be 6. And then the left thigh bend. And we want to do -6. So you're going to want to make sure you don't have any extra geographs or anything on your figures. So eyelashes, tears, however you pronounce it. Yeah, you just don't really want anything on them. Alright, so now we're going to hide our Genesis 9 figure just for the moment. We're going to select our 8.1, go to File, Export, export. Okay. as an object. So we're going to do a G81F as G9. Now, if you're doing Genesis 8 male, you do G8M if you want. Just you don't even have to name it that. You can name it whatever you want. Just make sure it's something you recognize. So we're gonna export this. Start with your Daz preset, I guess you would call it here. You're gonna unselect right groups, unselect right separate objects, and then collapse UV tiles you're gonna want to select. Alright, now with the original model selected, you're gonna wanna go to back to the hamburger menu. Go to clear animation, clear figure. That's gonna fix the legs back to the 0, 0. The side where when you went 6 and -6. Those are basically gonna go back to 0 once you do that. Alright, so now we're gonna hide that. I'm gonna go to File, Import, and then we're gonna re-import this, the OBJ that we just exported. You can switch that to Daz. That's gonna fix your coordinates there. Alright, so now we're gonna select this. We're gonna go to Edit, Object, Transfer Utility. Select an item and choose Genesis 9, current, and your target's going to be your object. And you're going to leave that as default. And you're going to want to expand this show options. Make sure you select reverse source shape from target. You're going to want to select this, content type, and then unselect parent to source figure. So now in content type, you're going to want to go follower wardrobe full body. It should be right around here. And you're going to hit accept. Give it a moment. Alright, so now we're going to go back to our Genesis 9 figure, and we're going to dial out that Genesis 8 female. Alright, so we're going to hide our Genesis 9. We're going to select our clone, basically. Then we're going to export it again. But this time you're going to want to change the name. You want it to have a unique name. So I'm going to do G81F underscore clone for excuse me, got that backwards. Do G9 clone for G81F. Then you're going to save that. Basically the same as before. You go down to your Daz preset, unselect right groups, unselect right separate objects, and then select collapsed UV tiles. Excuse me. Alright, so from there, we're going to want to hide this and bring back our 8.1 female figure. we're going to go to Edit, Object, Morph Loader Pro. You're going to make sure this is Daz Studio, and you're going to go to Choose Morph File. And then you're going to select the one you just exported, so it'll be this one right here. So now you're going to want to drop this down. You're going to want to start with control, create control property. You're going to drop that down. You're going to right click on no, and it's going to bring up a drop down for yes or no. So I'm going to change that to yes. You're going to drop this one down to use custom value. Yes. Everything else you can leave there. And then reverse deformations, you're going to want to go yes. And that should be about it for that. So go to accept. And you should get this created morph successfully. And so from there, you're going to want to have your original model selected. You're going to go to your morph thing on the morph drop down on your parameters pane. You're going to go to morph loader. And you're probably going to want to scroll down. Probably gonna be, mine's down here, but I'm not sure if it moves like alphabetically. So you're probably going to have to look for it a little bit, but depending on how big it is, your list. So I'm going to right click on that, and I'm going to change it to edit mode. And then I'm going to click on it, and then you're going to find your like cog or gear, whatever you want to call it. Pull up your parameter settings, and go to type, modifier, clone. Oh, excuse me. And you're going to want to go to, oh yeah, you're also going to want to select hidden. Then you're going to find your path, which is right above the type that you just used. Then you're going to go to hidden, clones. And from there, I mean, you can change the color and all that if you want, just so you can see what it is. For example. Then you're going to want to turn this to 0. Sorry about that. Then you're just gonna accept. Alright, let's hide this. Whoops, I guess not. Oh, my bad. So you're gonna go to your hidden drop down, you're gonna go to clones, and the one we just made right there, hence those colors. So you're gonna click on it and select it, but don't click on any of this. It's on where the title is. Go to File, Save As, Support Asset, and then Morph Asset. Bring the drop down for your model, hidden, clones, and then find the one you made. Right there. And change your vendor name and all that accordingly. Let's do a G9 clone morph tutorial. and then change your directory accordingly. So now you can go pull up a clothing asset for your model. So I'm just gonna use the Out of Touches 10 one. Give it a second to load here. Alright, so alright, let's do this sleeveless crop top. That's fine. So now you're gonna see that's unsupported. So in this case, the one we just made was for Genesis 8.1 female. So you just select that and then you hit accept. And then it's gonna load up here and fit it to the model. And there you go. So following that, if everything's all good and you like how it fits, then you just you can go back here, drop it down, and then select your the clothing asset that you used. We're gonna go to File, Save As, Support Asset, and then Figure Prop Asset. And then I've already done a couple here. So in this case is what crop top, sleeveless crop top. Okay. So you can just go folder OOT G9 underscore SL CT, just to be short about it. OOT G9 sleeve was crop top. I'm gonna save that. We're gonna unselect these two, and if this is checked, then uncheck it. I believe it's unchecked by default, so leave it that way if it is. And then save your product name as needed. So I'm just gonna go let's go SLCT like we did on the folder. And then from there, accept. So yeah, from there you could pull in your, let me see if I can pull it up real quick. Since, yeah, 8.1 female, I'm gonna go clothing. I have my own folder there, just for the conversions, and there it has all of them here. So I did the pants already, for example, right? So now it's a standard 8.1 female. I can just double click those and it'll just put them right on. And then I can go back to then I can go back to that Out of Touch's original folder with all the materials and change them. Oh, whoops, gotta select the pants. That's why. There we go. I have some poke through issues, but you can fix those with excuse me. Let's give it edit mode. So you can just kind of loosen the thighs and get most of it out of there. It's not gonna be perfect, but it does the job, you know. So if I wanna like tighten the ankles, still works fine. Yeah, so again, credit to Petunia Pedals for the tutorial. I mean, it works more than well enough, especially for the actual original characters I've tried it on. It works fine. Not sure about posing, so it's kind of a shot in the dark there, but try that out on your own and test it that way. But yeah, it should work for most Genesis 9 clothing. I guess we'll see about hair. I mean, I don't really know if that's coming anytime soon, especially if Daz3D has anything to say about it. So that is about it. Hopefully this helped a little bit. You know, get some value out of those Genesis 9 clothes that you bought to experiment with but don't have much use for otherwise. So yeah, that's about it.